Hi, my name's David Heatley from Cycling Inform, and this is our inaugural interview with Matt Brindle, our functional strength training coach. Thanks, Matt, for coming down. I'm just intrigued to find out your progression from going from a bodybuilder into functional strength training. So tell us the story, Matt.
Look, having been a personal trainer for 17 years now, when I started way back in the 90s, it seems like a lifetime ago, training back then was vastly different to what it is now. Okay, the research, the science, all that sort of stuff that was coming out then was all about, okay, what does this muscle do? How do we strengthen that muscle specifically? Let's do this action to work on that muscle, and it should give us this result. Okay, which, that was fine, because a lot of it sort of stems from a sort of a bodybuilding strength background. Okay, which, that's how things were back then. Okay, like all industries, there's research and science going on the whole time. Now, it probably wasn't until, I would say, the late 90s, 99, 2000 maybe, that the whole core training came out into the fitness industry. Okay, at that stage, I'd had several clients, and over a period of a few years, you come across injuries and things like that, and you want to know how to address it, because these clients are asking for your help. So you get into the whole core side of things, and it was all about, what did the inner abdominals do and what did the outer abdominals do, and if we fix them, then everything else will be better. Okay, that was the basic perception of core training back then. And it probably wasn't until maybe 2004, 2005, that I started to hear the buzzword of functional training come out. There was a transition, a slight transition from core training to functional training. Okay, so I looked into it a little bit further, because some of the strategies and the sciences and whatever that were coming along with the core training weren't giving the results that we were expecting them to give. Okay, they didn't always give us the same result with the same person every time. Okay, because it was, back then it was, you do this, this will be the result. Okay, the human body doesn't really work like that. Everybody's structured differently, everybody's biomechanics are different, their emotional state, all those sorts of things play a huge part in terms of how a person will move efficiently. Functional training is about developing efficient movement. Considerations of emotional states, physical states, hydration, all those sorts of things play a factor on how somebody's going to move. So what it brought to my attention is that it was a far more, I suppose you could say, holistic look at the body, rather than a scientific, traditional Western medicine approach. Okay, it still used science, and it still does, and it's heavily based in science, and that it looks at the structures of how the muscles fire, and it applies those principles to develop proper strategies. But it's not about us controlling the system. It's about feeding the system what it wants. And when I say the system, I mean the human body. And then the body then comes up with the answer, rather than us telling it what to do the whole time.
So it's a whole new way of training, really.
It was a whole new way of training. And look, it has been around for a while, but even in the last 8 years that I've been looking into it and doing it with my clients, there's always research coming out, how we understand how the myofascial system, which is sort of the muscles and the connective tissue, work together to create stability, motion, and all that sort of stuff. That's now playing a big part in what we do and how we train people. So the basis of functional training in terms of developing efficient movement is still there. The understanding of how the body now works is starting to come into play a little better, and we can come up with better strategies now for everybody that gives them better results.
And that's what we're really looking for, and that's one of the big issues that I found with traditional strength training, was that it's really about that transition across from what people are doing in the gym into strength training. That's actually what we're doing in the gym, and translating that into what we're actually doing out on the field, in the particular sports. Not only specifically for cyclists, but for all sports.